At present, the median net worth for somebody in their 20s, it's under $8,000. But too often the perception of where and how to make the most money is media and personality influenced. In television, film, and music, we glamorize Wall Street and Silicon Valley, not middle America. But business ownership in any town USA is increasingly the foundation for our very highest wage earners. As Juliet Chung of the Wall Street Journal recently reported, behind a paycheck, the largest source of income for the 1% highest earners in the U.S. isn't being a partner at an investment bank or launching a 1 in a million tech startup. It's owning a medium-sized regional business.
And look, I'm going to stop. For those of you who don't know, I am Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from, as you see, the search patents, copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets. And I'm just a big proponent of, make sure my volume and things is kind of right. Okay, yeah, we're good. I'm always a big proponent of, again, creating some type of business. And again, you don't necessarily have to create a business to be the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Elon Musk or the next Steve Jobs, whatever the case may be. If you can build a business, you can still work your 9 to 5, work on your business 2-3 hours a day, whatever the case may be, a little bit on the weekends. And you can not only make money, but now you can also increase the value of that business such that when you're no longer going to do it and have already kind of made all the money, you can at that point sell it to somebody else. That's what immigrants do when they come here. They work there, open their restaurant, whatever the case may be, make their money for 10, 20, 30 years. The whole family then went through the restaurant, working there and growing up through the restaurant. Then when they get older, they sell the business. And that's something that you can't do just working a 9 to 5 period. You can't sell that business that you have built over time, in addition to actually making the money day after day operating that business. So I agree with him as far as, hey, for whatever reason, we have this obsession with athletes, with entertainers, and really they're not making the most money as, I guess, the big tech people. But to the extent that I ran across a ton of people who have started a business and sold it for $30 million, sold it for $20 million, making millions of dollars a year. We're talking about the American dream. A lot of people say it's not a lot alive and well and it's dead. Like, no, you're just playing the wrong game. So I love what he says. Let's get back to this gentleman, see what else he has to say about not black businesses, but just business in general, small businesses. And again, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Check out that ebook in the description or in the comment section. Let's go.
Many of them are distinctly boring and extremely lucrative, like auto dealerships, beverage distributors, grocery stores, dental practices, and law firms. That analysis was based on the work of Owen Zadar, a Princeton University economist, and Eric Zwick, an economist at the University of Chicago. Dr. Zadar will join me in just a moment. The two are soon to publish a book on this very subject. They studied anonymized tax data from 2000 to 2022. Their focus, S corporations and partnerships. Typical of those were medium-sized businesses with annual sales of 20 million and 100 employees. Their findings built off a previous academic paper for which they were co-authors called Capitalists in the 21st Century. From that analysis, quote, our findings draw attention to a class of entrepreneurs hidden from public view, who prevail among top earners and whose human capital income is key for understanding top incomes.
And that's important too. Just because I was going back and forth for like 3 or 4 hours with a buddy yesterday at the Memorial Day barbecue, and we were kind of going back and forth on, for whatever reason, I think the obsession with the athletes and entertainers is because they're on front street, so to speak. Everybody sees them, even though they don't kind of see how much debt they're in or how they're not really doing good as kind of the media portrays them to be, or how their social media portrays them to be. But the people who are really making the money are the entrepreneurs of small businesses. And he was saying how he didn't like capitalism or whatever the case may be, or it doesn't work. It's like, no, I'm trying to tell him capitalism doesn't work for you because you're playing the wrong game. You're not trying to build a business. Heck, even own a real estate for that matter, for the tax advantages. You're not doing that. You guys are going to 9 to 5 and that's it. And that's not going to benefit you, not only in the short term, especially with inflation, but it's also not going to benefit you in the long run because, again, you don't have anything to at some point build up, protect the intellectual property, then sell for a big payday, or you don't have something that's going to be paying you kind of really more or less while you're asleep or while you're not on a clock, so to speak. So that's good. Let's go.
The takeaway from both the prior and more recent analysis is that if we examine everyone in the United States and then focus on the top 10% of earners. For most, their main source of income is wages. But for the very top, those at the 0.1% level, it flips. And most of them are getting more of their income through profits from their businesses. Those businesses are typically not in finance, but rather they actively produce goods or services across diverse industries. Professors Zadar and Zwick, they gained access to data about who owns private jets and super yachts. And what do they find among the latter? Sure enough, dozens of auto dealers who live in random towns across America. This Wall Street Journal article also had examples of entrepreneurs who defy stereotypes and show that you can make money at anything in America as long as you do it right. There's Derek Olson, his Minnesota-based business, National Flooring Equipment. They make machines that rip up flooring. He makes millions due to the need for carpet removal at elementary schools in particular. They've got a lot of carpet and the kids make a lot of mess. Then there's David McNeil. He dropped out of college and sold cars. On a trip to Scotland, he noticed they had superior car floor mats. So he took out a second mortgage, shipped over a bunch of these mats to sell. In the first year, he made $40,000. 2 years later, he made 10 times that amount. Today, his Illinois-based company, WeatherTech, you've heard of them. They sell hundreds of millions in auto accessories. The point is, America is still the land of opportunity. In fact, it may be truer today than it was 25 years ago. The data show that business owners worth 10 million or higher have more than doubled in the past quarter century, even adjusting for inflation. Sure, it's true that 1/3 inherited their businesses, but most are self-made. And many of these now 1%ers did not grow up themselves in privileged homes. They're ambitious, they're smart, but nor did they graduate from the most prestigious schools. In fact, many didn't go to college at all. And today, they don't live on the coasts. They tend to live somewhere in the middle of the country. There's even a name for this type of success coined by Professor Zadar. They're called the stealthy wealthy. Or as a book first published in 1996 called them, the millionaires next door.
The stealthy wealthy. Look, that's pretty much it. I think a couple things to take away from this video is, number one, you have to own a business. And to the extent that you own a business, make sure you're protecting that intellectual property. He talked about WeatherTech. He talked about the gentleman that created a company that's ripping up floor and carpet from these elementaries, and they're making millions of dollars. I'm pretty sure, and the thing that he didn't talk about with that is they have WeatherTech trademark with the brand, and they have patents on the product and on their mats, their floor mats and things like that. You have to, number one, first get a business, solve a problem, or have a problem that needs to be solved, come up with an efficient, effective way to solve that problem, create a business around it. You're going to get a ton of tax advantages because you're putting money into the business. You're going to grow that over time. So not only you're going to make money on a day-to-day basis, you're also going to be able to benefit from writing off things on your taxes. And then at the same time, when you go to sell that thing, to the extent you ever want to sell it, maybe you just pass it down for your kids to run, but you're going to most likely exit at a lot more money than what you ever had envisioned. So that's kind of my take on it. I have helped people personally build businesses. Again, my famous story, guy was a masonry, laid brick for a living, came out with a water slide that I could have swore I saw in the hood 1,000 times. And we was able to help him get a patent on it. And next thing you know, he's making, I'm talking about 600, 700, 800 grand selling this thing on Amazon. He built a nice big house off of the lake, a nice pole barn, because he was killing it. And the fact is, he's able to do that for 20 years without having any competition. And he's actually found other stuff on like hunting gear and things like that. So again, the American dream is all alive and well. And as I told my friend, I'll tell it to you all, you just have to be playing the right game. At the beginning of time, the two things that the framers of the Constitution put in there that was an incentive is to own real estate and then depreciate things like that, but also a business. To the extent that you can operate a business, start a business, operate a business, and then you get those tax advantages. Those are the two biggest things. But again, for whatever reason, people want to glamorize or glorify the athletes, the entertainers, and the people who they see publicly on the TV, as opposed to, as this gentleman talked about, the people who, hey, they're next door to you, or they're just hidden in plain sight. They're making a ton of money operating a business, own a business that you probably never heard of, and they're making millions of dollars. Yeah, you don't have to be a billion-dollar company or be the next Elon Musk or not Nikola Tesla, but Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg and one of these tech giants. But if you got a good product, a solid product, you protect it, and you protect the brand, you continue to grow it year after year after year, 10, 15 years later, you'll be making millions of dollars a year in revenue, if not profits. And at the very least, to the extent that you want to exit, you probably took something that you started from zero and all of a sudden it may be a $5-10 million company. You're talking about generational wealth and being able to pass something down to your kids. That's it. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Please hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. And well, again, on the IP community, I interview every week somebody. A lot of those businesses are on Shark Tank, but I interview people, businesses every week who, again, sometimes they were engineers, or sometimes they were lawyers, or sometimes they were in HR. Sometimes these people got fired and had to back up against the wall and come out with a product and start a business. Sometimes these people are college students. I'm interviewing, they started a business, they're crushing it. So again, it's all shapes and sizes and forms. It's not a one size fits all model, but a lot of people are doing it. Everybody can do it, which is a good thing. And I'll interview those people week after week on my platform, Everything Intellectual Property. So please hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Check out that ebook. It's in the description section. It's called Got IP. To the extent that you have an idea, you're trying to learn how to get it such that you're monetizing it, that ebook will help you out with that. So go check that out. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Am I off? Is this gentleman off? Or are we kind of playing the wrong game and not doing things the right way as it relates to starting a business, growing it, and taking advantage of that American dream? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.